ChatGPT. Relate ACIM to the movie What the Bleep? Down the Rabbit Hole. What the Bleep? Down the Rabbit Hole through the lens of A Course in Miracles. What the Bleep? Down the Rabbit Hole is one of the closest cinematic companions to the mind training aspects of ACM. While the film uses ideas from psychology, neuroscience, and quantum theory, the deeper invitation is remarkably similar to that of the Course. Question everything you think you know about reality. The phrase "down the rabbit hole" is especially meaningful. In both the movie and AIM, awakening begins when the mind becomes willing to question its assumptions. Not some assumptions. All assumptions. The rabbit hole of perception. The film repeatedly challenges the idea that we perceive reality directly. Instead, it suggests that perception is filtered through beliefs, habits, expectations, memories, and conditioning. It teaches precisely this. The ego assumes, I see the world as it is. The Course teaches, you see the world as you are. Perception is not neutral. It reflects the content of the perceiving mind. The rabbit hole begins the moment we question whether our perceptions are actually telling us the truth. The observer. A central theme of the film concerns the observer. Who is seeing? Who is interpreting? Who is assigning meaning? This question sits near the heart of ACM. The ego focuses on changing external circumstances. The Holy Spirit focuses on healing the observer. Most people spend their lives attempting to improve the picture. The Course asks us to examine the projector. The movie continually redirects attention toward the mind that is perceiving. Addiction to the ego. One of the most memorable ideas presented in the film is that people can become addicted to familiar emotional states: drama, conflict, fear, victimhood, anger, suffering. The ego depends upon repetition. It recreates familiar experiences because those experiences reinforce the identity it has constructed. ACM describes a similar dynamic. The ego continually seeks evidence for the beliefs it already holds. The mind becomes trapped in self-reinforcing patterns until it becomes willing to choose differently. The story maker. Throughout the movie, the mind is shown creating stories about reality. The ego is a storyteller. It takes neutral events and assigns meaning. It creates narratives, interpretations, explanations. Then it believes them. The Course repeatedly reminds us that interpretation is optional. The Holy Spirit offers another interpretation. The miracle occurs when the mind becomes willing to release its certainty. The quantum metaphor. The film uses quantum ideas to challenge conventional assumptions about reality. Whether taken literally or symbolically, the underlying message aligns with an important theme in AIM. Reality is not what the ego assumes it to be. The ego believes the world is fixed, external, and independent. The Course teaches that perception arises from the mind. The world we experience reflects the thought system we have chosen. The movie loosens attachment to appearances. The Course goes one step further and invites us to question the entire perceptual framework. Alice and the dream. The rabbit hole metaphor inevitably evokes the idea of awakening from a dream. This is one of the most recurring themes in ACM. The sleeping mind dreams a world of separation. The dream appears real while it is believed. Awakening does not improve the dream. Awakening reveals that it was a dream. The movie continually encourages viewers to question whether their ordinary assumptions are as solid as they seem. Choosing again. Perhaps the most important overlap between the film and ACIM is the emphasis on choice. The ego says, this is just the way things are. The Holy Spirit says, you can choose again. Different thoughts, different interpretations, different perceptions, different experiences. The miracle is not changing the world. The miracle is changing the mind. The movie repeatedly points toward this possibility. Going beyond the rabbit hole, while the film focuses largely on perception and consciousness, ACM points beyond perception altogether. Perception can be healed, but even healed perception remains perception. The ultimate goal is knowledge, the direct remembrance of God, the direct remembrance of love, the direct remembrance of our shared identity. The rabbit hole eventually leads beyond the mind's interpretations and into the quiet certainty of truth itself. The central reflection. The ego watches What the Bleep? Down the rabbit hole and asks, how does reality work? The Holy Spirit watches What the Bleep? Down the rabbit hole and asks, what beliefs am I using to create my experience of reality? Viewed through ACIM, the film becomes a powerful invitation to examine the assumptions, emotional patterns, and interpretations through which the world is perceived. The rabbit hole is not ultimately about physics. It is about consciousness. It is about the willingness to question every belief that keeps the mind asleep. The deepest message may be, the world you see is inseparable from the mind that sees it. Follow the rabbit hole far enough, and you eventually arrive at the realization that awakening is not about understanding the dream. It is about remembering the dreamer. Go to mwge.org to find full movie and commentary by David Hoffmeister.